The border looks peaceful at night. From a distance it's quiet, almost beautiful. A thin line of light stretches across the horizon. Wind moves through dry grass. Dust drifts slowly along the empty road. If you didn't know better, you might think nothing ever happens here. Most people imagine borders as simple things: a fence, a checkpoint, a few cameras watching from tall metal poles. They imagine that crossing it is the hardest part. They're wrong. The real border isn't made of fences. It's made of people. People who watch the roads. People who move things quietly from town to town. People who guide others through darkness. People who enforce the rules of a system that never appears on maps. And every one of them has a rank. You never plan to be part of that system. No one wakes up one morning and decides to step into it. It begins with something small, a favor, a job, a little money. And once you take the first step, the border begins pulling you deeper. Level 1. The lookout. At first, your job is so simple it almost feels like a joke. Watch the road. That's it. You sit inside an old car parked on a hill overlooking a dusty highway that runs toward the border. Your radio rests on the dashboard. A pair of binoculars sits beside you, and your instructions are clear. Watch. If patrol vehicles appear, report it. If something unusual happens, report it. Otherwise, stay quiet. Most nights are slow, painfully slow. The hours stretch endlessly. You watch trucks drive past. You watch distant headlights appear and disappear. Sometimes you watch nothing at all. Wind moves through the desert like a whisper. At first you wonder why anyone would pay money for this. But after a few nights you begin to understand. The border runs on information. Knowing which roads are quiet. Knowing when patrols move. Knowing when checkpoints become unpredictable. The people above you don't need to see the road themselves. They have people like you for that. The money is good. Much better than anything you've ever earned before. And the work feels harmless. You aren't crossing anything. You aren't carrying anything. You're just watching. But then one night something goes wrong. A driver calls through the radio. His voice is tense. Too many patrol cars. Too fast. Too unexpected. You hear shouting in the background. Then the radio cuts out. Silence. You stare at the device in your hand. Waiting. Hoping the voice returns. It never does. When you ask about it later, the man who hired you barely reacts. He shrugs. Bad luck. And just like that, the conversation ends. That's the first lesson the border teaches you. Everyone here is replaceable. Level 2. The courier. After months of quiet work, they say you've proven yourself. You don't ask questions. You don't panic. You don't talk too much. So they offer you something new. Courier work. At first it seems simple. Deliver an envelope to a gas station. Leave a package at a house with the lights turned off. Pick up a bag from someone who never gives you their name. You are told 3 rules. Never open anything. Never ask questions. Never be late. The packages vary in size. Sometimes they're small enough to fit inside your jacket. Sometimes they're heavy enough to make your arms ache. But you never know what's inside. And eventually you stop wondering. Because curiosity is dangerous here. The money doubles. Maybe even triples. And suddenly your life begins to change. You buy better clothes. You eat better food. You feel like you've discovered a secret path to success. But the first time a police car slows down near you while you're carrying a delivery, your heart begins hammering so hard you think it might burst. The officer glances at you. Just a quick look. Then he drives away. You continue walking, trying not to look nervous, trying not to run. When you finally complete the delivery, your hands are shaking, but the money still comes. And that's the second lesson the border teaches you. Fear fades, but money makes people stay. Level 3. The guide. Your next promotion changes everything. Now you work in the dark. Guides move people across terrain that most outsiders never see. Dry riverbeds, rocky hills, paths hidden between valleys, places where roads disappear and the land becomes wild. Your job is simple in theory. Lead groups safely through the terrain. Avoid patrols. Avoid lights. Avoid noise. In reality, nothing about it is simple. The desert is cruel. The nights are cold. The wind cuts across open land like a blade. People who follow you are exhausted long before the journey ends. Some are scared. Some are desperate. Some are too tired to keep moving. But the network has strict rules. You must reach the next safe location before dawn. There is no time to slow down. The first time someone collapses behind you, you hesitate. You look back. You hear them begging for a moment to rest. But the others are still moving, and stopping risks everything. So you keep walking. The sound of their voice fades behind you. You never see them again. That night you learn another truth. The border doesn't care about individuals. It only cares about movement. Level 4. The driver. Driving is where the real danger begins. Vehicles become tools. Machines built to hide secrets. Hidden compartments. Modified interiors. Every detail designed to avoid attention. You learn how to act calm, how to keep your breathing steady, how to answer questions without hesitation. Checkpoints become moments of silent terror. Officers shine lights into your vehicle. They ask routine questions. Where are you coming from? Where are you going? How long have you been on the road? Your answers must sound natural, relaxed, convincing. Inside your chest, your heart pounds like a drum, but your face remains calm. Sometimes they wave you through without looking twice. Other times they study you carefully, searching for nervousness, searching for mistakes. Every time you pass a checkpoint successfully, the relief feels overwhelming, and every successful run brings more money, more trust, more responsibility. You realize that danger has become part of your normal life, and strangely, you've started getting used to it. Level 5. The Stash House Manager. Eventually you move off the roads. Now you manage a safe location used by the network. From the outside it looks ordinary, a small house on a quiet street. Nothing unusual, but inside it's constantly active. People arrive at strange hours. Packages appear and disappear. Phones ring endlessly. Your job is to keep everything organized. Track arrivals, track departures, make sure nothing goes missing, make sure nobody causes trouble. You begin to see how large the system really is. Drivers, lookouts, couriers, guides, all of them passing through places like this. Money moves through the house constantly, stacks of it, more than you ever imagined when you were sitting in that car watching the road. But the tension inside the house is constant. People argue, people panic, people beg for information you don't have. And every night you lock the doors and check the windows again and again. Because now you understand something terrifying. You know too much. And in this world, that can be dangerous. Level 6. The enforcer violence enters your life slowly. At first you're just present when problems happen. A courier disappears with money. A worker breaks the rules. A rival group tries to interfere with your routes. Someone has to respond. Someone has to enforce discipline. Eventually that someone becomes you. Your job now is to solve problems, to remind people that the network has consequences. Fear becomes a language everyone understands. You learn quickly that reputation is powerful. People obey when they believe you're capable of doing terrible things. And soon your name begins circulating through the network. Some people respect you, others fear you, many avoid you completely. But power changes the way you see the world. The line between right and wrong becomes blurry. What matters now is loyalty, control, order. Because without those things, the entire system collapses. Level 7. The Coordinator. At this stage, you're no longer following orders. You're giving them. Drivers call you for instructions. Lookouts report patrol movements to you. Couriers wait for your approval before making deliveries. You study maps constantly. Routes change depending on patrol activity. If one road becomes dangerous, another must replace it immediately. The network depends on people like you to keep everything moving. Money flows into your life faster than ever. Luxury cars, expensive clothes, comfortable houses. Everything you once dreamed about. But success creates new enemies. Rivals watch your operations. Authorities gather information quietly. Even your own allies begin wondering whether you've become too powerful. Paranoia grows. Every meeting feels tense. Every phone call could be recorded. You start sleeping with a weapon nearby. Because now you understand the final truth of the border. No one stays on top forever. Level 8. The Border Boss. At the highest level, you no longer move anything yourself. You sit in secure locations, surrounded by loyal guards. Phones connect you to operations across entire regions. Routes open and close depending on your decisions. Your name carries weight. People obey your instructions without hesitation. From the outside, it might look like power, like success. like victory. But the reality feels different. Your life becomes smaller. You rarely appear in public. You trust very few people. Every conversation might hide betrayal. Every deal might turn into conflict. You've climbed higher than you ever imagined. But the higher you climb, the more isolated you become. Because the border doesn't free its leaders, it traps them. You started as a lookout, a kid sitting in a car watching a dusty road under the desert moon. Back then, the border looked simple, just a line on a map. But now you understand the truth. The real border is a system, a machine powered by desperation, fear, loyalty, and silence. And once someone climbs through every rank inside that machine, they realize something chilling. Nobody truly escapes it. Some disappear, some are arrested, some are replaced, but the system keeps moving, because the border isn't controlled by fences. It's controlled by the network, and the network never stops.